Hello everybody, a very warm welcome to Elets Webinar. As you all know that our country is experiencing social distancing because of the COVID-19 pandemic being faced by the whole world. And as you all know that Elets, what we are doing from last 17 years, we are connecting people. And in this time of COVID pandemic also, we are connecting the people who are working on ground to each other, to the people, so that the good work and the useful success stories can be shared with the world who are fighting against this severe crisis. And today we are very honored, we are honored and glad to have a special guest with us to talk to us about what is being done on grounds and on a very important sector. And I am having with us Mr. A. Shrinivas. He is Managing Director of Dairy Development Federation of Haryana. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Karthik. It's nice having you over. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Shrinivas is IAS of 2004 batch, Haryana cadre. Post-graduated in 1999 in MA Public Administration from Osmania University. He did his Masters in Public Policy from King's College London 2017 and 18. He has held various posts in the field of education, social welfare, IT, urban development, etc. during his years in service. Besides his work, he loves photography and cooking. So, Mr. Shrinivas, I would first like to ask you about your experience in services, about your experience of governance, and your hobbies, which is mentioned in your bio also. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik. I belong to the 2004 batch IAS of the Haryana cadre. And initially, when I was allotted the Indian Administrative Service, I was given the Rajasthan cadre. And initially, I worked as under training and SDM in Ajmer district. And in the year 2007, when I got married, my wife is also from the IAS, and she belongs to the 2006 batch. And I happened to join Haryana in 2007. And since then, I've been working here in the state. And as you have already told, that I have worked in various fields, right from district administration to urban development to education field, the IT sector, the social welfare. And right now I am in this field of milk procurement and milk distribution. I am heading this organization from past about 2 months, 2-3 months, and it's a lovely experience. And it was a nice learning experience in this administration for about 15 years of service. And it's a lot of challenges. And right now we're having this COVID as one of the most challenging experiences. From past about 2 months, we have been trying to provide milk to each and every household in this lockdown. So it's been a lovely experience and lovely 15 years of service, and God willing, I'll have more of it till I retire.
Surely, sir. We hope that you will keep serving the country as you are doing right now. So today's topic, as we have mentioned here, is that challenges of combating COVID. Initiatives being taken and the use of technology in COVID era, the way forward. So as we will be vastly discussing on this COVID crisis, I would like to request you that please tell us about how you are dealing, your federation is dealing with this, and what are the major issues which you are trying to solve.
Yeah, when the lockdown was first announced by the Honorable Prime Minister a couple of months back, the very first few days of the lockdown, we had a lot of issues from the Federation as a whole. First, immediately was that farmers did not even move out from their houses. So the procurement was almost very less. And at the same time, our sales got really affected because all the restaurants, hotels, dhabas and everything got closed down. But things have settled down with the next couple of days, and we have educated the people that they can come and pour the milk at the at the society level. And since milk has been a commodity, essential commodity, government has taken all the steps to help the farmers to pour the milk, and also ensured that all our plants are actually processing the milk, and distribution is also at a normal pace. Though it has taken us about 3-4 days initially, but now after that everything got settled down. So if I talk about the entire journey in this COVID from past about 2 months, the first impact was, if I can say, it was on the private sector dairy farms, the small and big dairy farms. Most of these private sector dairy farms, the major marketing was to the hotels and the major establishments, which all of them have closed down because of COVID. So initially what has happened is that those farmers who were actually selling milk to these private dairies had nowhere to go but to approach the government and seek the help of the federation to procure the milk. And with the help of the directions of the Honorable Chief Minister Haryana, the federation has taken up this activity of procuring the milk from all these farmers who were initially selling milk to the private dairies. Normally, we don't, on normal days, we don't encourage those farmers to come to us, because we have our own clientele who we cater to. And they have to register themselves with our societies, and only then we normally allow them to pour the milk to the federation. But since these are very challenging times, the government took very positive view of the entire situation, and has told the federation that the procurement of milk has to take place and help the farmers of Haryana, and we have done it. And if I can quote a little bit of figures which will help you understand how much of procurement is happening now. Exactly about a year back, our procurement was around about 3 lakh liters per day. Right now, my procurement is about 6.5 lakh liters. That's about 3 lakh liters more than the normal season. That 3.5 lakh liters is basically those milk, that milk which was actually being given to the private dairies. So you can imagine what kind of a pressure we would be having from our federation in terms of the finances. I mean, at one side we don't have the sales happening because of the lockdown of the restaurants and hotels and the big establishments being closed down, and at the same time our procurement has really doubled. About 40 to 50% of procurement is more than what is compared to the last year. So our finances in a really bad shape, but we are trying to do our best. So initially, the issue of procurement from the farmers is a big issue, and later on, of course, the distribution is also a little problematic, because since the lockdown, the people were not allowed to come on to the road and pick up the milk from the stores. So we had to tie up with the in at least in NCR region and metropolitan cities like your Chandigarh and Panchkula, with the local agencies like Swiggy, so that they can supply the milk to the doorstep. But since we don't have that much of a marketing capacity, we could not do much about it. But we ensured that all the about 500 booths that we have at our disposal across the state were open from morning and evening, and it was when it was open for the public to go and pick up the milk at the nearest doorstep, but not at the door at the household level, but at the locality level. We ensured that that supply was given.
Right. So these are the challenges which you are facing. So how are you meeting out these challenges? Are you also using technology in terms of ensuring right procurement and distribution? One of the
See,
examples
when
you
it
gave
comes,
is Swiggy.
yeah, when it comes to marketing, we don't have much of a technology as such, but Swiggy is only the new entrant into our marketing strategy. But otherwise, we only market it through our 500 odd milk booths that we have. We don't have that thing of door-to-door delivery of milk. like other federations have it. So we are at the level of Vita yet to come up with that kind of a system, so that in the near future we should get that kind of a system in place, so that milk delivery happens at the doorstep.
Okay, so at this time, people are also quite worried about, the virus, and people are experiencing social distancing. So hygiene and sanitation, how are you ensuring such things in your processes?
Well, Karthik, when you're talking about food industry and especially the milk industry, in a normal situation also, the environment in which the milk is processed is a very, very sanitized environment. Like, for example, on a normal day, even with whether it's COVID or non-COVID, people who are getting inside the factory, they are all sanitized. They have their own entire protection kit. They have gloves. They have got hats and everything. But over and above that kind of sanitization that we always ensure, due to this COVID, we have taken many other measures also, as and when the instruction from the government, Ministry of Health and Ministry of Industries, which were coming from Government of India. Like, for example, the workers who are
So
entering
your
our
audio has some issues.
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So as and when we have been getting any directions from Government of India, we have over and above what the measures that we used to take, we have increased our what we call sanitizing capabilities. Like, for example, the workers who are entering our factory, the temperature of all the workers used to take with the help of the thermal scanners, and any vehicle that was entering our factory with the milk from the societies at the village level, they were all sanitized with sprays, and not any single vehicle was allowed inside. And a lot of hand sanitizer was given to these what you call the workers also. So a lot of steps we have been taking. So as far as safety is concerned, during the COVID, the Vita has taken all the required steps. As I told you, I mean, even if there was no COVID, our since it's in the industry, milk industry or a food processing industry, very high standards of sanitization is in any way taken in these kind of industries.
So I was reading somewhere that around 25% decline is there across India in the consumption of milk. And
Yes.
in this situation, how farmers are reacting? What is their response, and how are they cooperating with you?
See, when it's a different thing altogether. When you look at things from the farmer's perspective, their milk has to be procured, so by the federation or by private players. So private players, since the COVID from past 2 months, since they closed down, the federation has taken it up. So as of now, we are procuring whatever milk the farmers are willing to sell. So in that way, the farmers are happy about it. And but when it comes to the sales part, the federation is having a hit, not the farmers, in the sense that our sales has really come down. When we were around 2.2 lakh liters as on today, we were about 3.5 to 4 lakh liters before the COVID. So in that way, about 2 lakh liters, we are a little shortage of our marketing thing. But indirectly, in the sense that how it is affecting the farmers is that since our procurement has increased, our sales have come down, the revenues of the federation has come down. So the cycle of payment of the milk procured from the farmers, which is a 10-day cycle, that is 1st to the 10th and 11th to 20th, 21st to 30th. These cycles of payment which we are supposed to give within within about 2-3 days of end of the cycle, that cycle is little getting prolonged because we don't have the ready cash with the federation. So the payment which I am normally give around 13th or 14th of the first cycle, that is getting extended to around 20th to 21st. So in that way, I can say that indirectly the farmers are getting affected in that manner. So the payment will happen to them, but there is a slight delay in it. That's basically because, as I told you, the finances of the federation is little come down because of the sales being less.
So, like your milk products, you have Vita bars also, Vita milk is there. So, how are you ensuring while selling it, or while you are also thinking to give it door to door now. So how will you ensure social distancing in that case?
We have already given instructions to all our distributors, and we have given a lot of information to the people, the customers in general, through various of our advertising companies and newspaper advertisements, that whenever they are approaching or coming to the Vita booths to pick up milk and milk products, they should adhere to proper social distancing norms. So we have given them instructions, and the proper distancing has to be maintained. And when you're talking about the sanitizing, I missed out on one point. We have already ensured that all the 500 odd booths that we have across the state, they are also properly sprayed and sanitized. So in that way, we are ensuring proper social distancing norms as well as sanitizing of the areas near the booths.
If you see a little optimistic in an optimistic way, can I ask for your views that can it be a new white revolution, or will this activity benefit dairy industry in some transformation or in some reform sort of thing? Any positive outcomes of this uh, crisis?
See, I don't know what kind of a positive thing, but the thing is like coming from southern India and working in a place called Haryana, wherein the normal consumption of milk is on a very high level per capita. I come from a place called Hyderabad. I mean, as a normal person, if I can personally, if I can speak, I don't drink milk. So, but that doesn't happen here in Haryana. So, people, a normal consumption of milk is very per capita consumption is very high. Like for example, if I can give you rough estimates of the milk procurement, milk production at the village level, and the actual milk sold by the farmers, it's hardly about 40% of milk that the farmer sells to the society. The rest of 50 to 60% is for internal consumption. So that itself shows that the farmer keeps a major chunk of the milk for himself. That's basically because he has his own products to milk. The lassi is there. The milk itself, they take it directly. So the consumption obviously is more. So just because there is COVID, there is nothing like in Haryana, which I can talk saying that there is some kind of a positive effect to it. But of course, when I look at the urban area, the what I can of course take out the I mean the advantage from this entire situation is that we can market it in such a way that it is a healthy product, and instead of going for all these kind of Coca-Colas and the rest of the aerated drinks, I think we should educate the people to go for more of natural products like milk and milk products.
True that. Um, but many states are talking about connecting farmers and supporting them. But still, there are instances we can see that farmers are dumping their milk in drains. Still, it's happening at some places. That so, how are you ensuring that all these farmers are well informed and they don't just dump their milk and connect with federation?
Oh, well, I can talk about at least Haryana state. I don't think we have got any kind of information from any part of Haryana that the farmers are in a state where they are dumping the milk anywhere. But I won't be able to comment about the rest of the other country. But at least in Haryana, we don't have such kind of situation. We are actually having, as a federation, we have about 6 plants across the state. One in Vallabhgarh near Faridabad, one in Sirsa, one in Jeend, one in Rohtak, one in Ambala, and one in Kurukshetra. So all these 6 plants together, we have an installed capacity about around 10 lakh liters. So as I told you initially, we are right now procuring about 6.5 lakh liters. So I still have about 3.5 lakh liters to be procured. So if we get any kind of information from any quarter of the state that there is some kind of situation that the milk is not being procured, we immediately instruct the local staff to go and arrange for that kind of a procurement. So as of now, I don't think we have any such kind of a state in the state of Haryana. And if there is any information, we would definitely like to act on that.
Definitely. So, how is your experience? You've studied public policy, and so you have been a student of public policy, and I think this is one of the most toughest times for a person who is dealing with policy. So what is your experience and how your studies are helping you in dealing with this crisis?
Well, I mean, when you're talking about studying a subject in a theoretical framework, of course, we always see it in a textbook format. But I did this public policy only about two couple of years back, when I had the opportunity of being a part of the Government of India sponsored program, the DFFT in King's College. But the experience that we get and the kind of training that the Indian Administrative Service officers are exposed to right from the day that we have been selected, and through the field level experience that we have right from the SDM level to the ADC and the DC and all that. So we are very well aware of what is happening at the ground level. So we are very well connected to the roots and the villages and what happens at that ground level. So when we are sitting at the level of federation right now, at least in this department, which I can talk about, actually helps me more to take a proper view rather than my subject knowledge of what I have achieved in King's College. Of course, it's a theoretical information and theoretical knowledge that we get from that, and which we will practically try to implement it here in the field. If you ask me personally, my experience of 12 years or 13 years in the field gives me more of an experience than that 1 year of education in King's College.
Okay, so I think though it is a practical, I think theory and practical both have combined now, and
Yeah.
you are getting the practical experience. I would also ask you about your experience with IT. As far as I know, you were MD of Heartron also.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were Special Secretary IT. So
Yeah.
do you
Yes.
think? Yeah. So current your current in these challenges, do you think currently or in future there will be more use of IT in Milk Federation also? And will you be using your experience of IT in future also, fighting with this crisis?
Yeah, in the sense that there are two things. And one is the organization itself getting into some kind of an IT mode, that is having the all the activities of the organization right from the level of the society to the union level, which is at the districts, at the factory level, which I was talking about, and at the federation level. So we have n number of activities at that level. Those activities being online is one thing, and the second is the marketing of these products that the federation manufactures. So there are two levels. So when I talk about the first level, we have already taken it up. In fact, even before I joined the organization, the federation has taken up the setting up of the ERP system of the entire activity for the federation, right from the level of the society. So that will take about a couple of months to materialize, and we would be once that comes up. So all the activities of the federation, right from the procurement of milk from the farmers, the registration of the farmers, to the quality check at the quality control labs in the factories, I can sit here in the office and monitor everything from here itself. So that kind of an ERP system is in place, and of course it will take a couple of months for that to be materialized. So as far as that IT side is concerned, we have already taken it up. Coming to the marketing side, of course, as I told you, this COVID situation has given us the opportunity of getting onto the Swiggy and learning that importance that the most of the customers, not only for milk industry but other sectors as well. Like for example, most of the customers these days don't even go shop their clothes outside. They are more of an online shopping which goes on happening, like Amazon and other kind of platforms. So I think even our federation should think in those lines, and we are already thinking in those lines. And Swiggy is one of them. And second, I think of course we would be exploring our own kind of software. And I think in another couple of months we should be getting onto most of these platforms which sell products at the doorstep of the customer. So I think coming days, I think for any kind of an industry, providing services at the doorstep of the customer is the key.
Right. There is one more important issue and a very burning issue with this industry is about food safety. We can see adulteration of milk. We see, problems in paneer and all these milk products. at large scale. There are raids we also see. So what is your view to deal with such issues, and how to use technology also? If you have used.
Well, through this medium, I would like to educate the viewers. See, when you're trying to buy milk, there are two sources of buying it. Either it is by it's a manufactured, labeled kind of a brand milk that you're buying, whether it's Verka, Amul, or Vita, or any other brand, whether it's a private or a customer, what you call the cooperative. The second is you're buying milk directly from the milk vendor, the milkman who actually gives milk at the doorstep. See, when you're taking milk from the milkman, we never know what kind of a disease the animals are carrying, and whether it's these guys are maintaining any kind of cleanliness of their hands, cleanliness of the animal, cleanliness of the vessels that they are transporting the milk in. But when it comes to the cooperative factories or for the private sectors, we maintain a lot of standards. So whenever we are taking milk, at least I can talk about the federation of the Vita Federation of the Haryana Federation. We collect milk at the society level. At the society level itself, we have high-end equipment to test the adulteration. We have adulteration kits there, machinery which can within few seconds give us all the parameters of milk.
Give us all the parameters of milk, and only ELETS.
Can you mute everybody else? Yeah. Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. So at the village, at the society level itself, we take that milk after all the parameters are as per norms. Next, when it comes to the BMC level, that is the bulk milk chilling units, where a group of societies will have one kind of a bulk milk chilling unit, so that the milk gets chilled before it enters the factory. So there also we have the checking done. And at the level of the factory, when it comes, and the entire truck of about 4,000 to 5,000 liters truck is also again tested according to the parameters set by the federation, and they are very, very stringent parameters. And once that parameters are fulfilled by the truck which has got the milk, only then the milk is pumped into our system. So otherwise it's not pumped. And if there is any kind of a parameter which is below the normal set by the federation, the entire milk is drained. So these are the high standards of safety which the federation, all the cooperative federations take. Well, of course, I really don't know the kind of checks and balances which the private industry has. I can talk about the cooperatives because we always discuss in other meetings and all. And of course, before when I was on deputation with the government of Telangana, I was for 2.5 years worked as MD of Vijaya Dairy, the cooperative federation of Telangana. So I am very well aware of the kind of steps which the cooperative of sector takes in maintaining the quality and kind of checking the adulteration. But as I told you, we don't know the kind of quality of milk and its products which they get it right directly other than these sectors. I mean directly from the farmers or whatever. So that kind of a quality stringent parameters we take.
Yes, sir. Farmers are your partners. I think you can see them as your partners in your federation's business. So,
Yes.
what sort of initiatives you take to support farmers in terms of their cattle farming or in terms of subsidies? So, what sort of initiatives you take for farmers' development and welfare?
See, from the federation side, we take about a couple of things. Like, for example, we have a group insurance of the farmers that the federation takes up. So, group life insurance. So that is an annual exercise that we have, and we have all the registered. We have about 50,000 registered, more than 50,000 registered farmers that are level, and they are their insurance is taken up at the by the federation. And over and above in the lean season, that is from April to September, the over and above what the federation pays to the farmer, we also get about 5 rupees incentive from the government side, that is the chief minister's incentive to the farmer. So 5 rupees over and above what we pay, we give to the farmers. So these kind of monetary benefits the federation takes up. But there are other activities which the animal husbandry department takes up for the welfare of the animals. So it is the Animal Husbandry Department of Haryana which has the other schemes, various schemes, which I won't be able to explain in detail, but there are schemes where the farmers are helped by the department from that side. Federation, of course, we are more in terms of providing a proper rate to the farmer for its product that he sells, and of course the incentive in terms of the CM incentive, and of course the group insurance from the federation side.
Sir, there are some questions. I would like to take those questions. There's a question that now people are experiencing this COVID-19 issue. So, will you be selling the products online now? And what are your plans for it?
Yeah, we are anyway. I told you in NCR region, in Hyderabad and Gurgaon, and of course in Chandigarh and Panchkula, we have tied up with Swiggy. So we are anyway selling to Swiggy. Any customer who wants to buy our product, they can always get onto Swiggy and place the order. And as I told you, I'm trying to figure out more such companies who can deliver at the doorstep of the customers. And Federation are in the process. Federation is in the process actually to tie up with that kind of companies.
Okay, and there's one more question. I think you told us about that, but I will request you to again tell us that in future they are saying that there'll be increase in lockdown. They're hoping for that. So how will you plan for future now? Now, how are you looking at working in this extended lockdown?
Well, we've been working from past couple of months to ensure that the milk is supplied to all the customers. The major marketing strategy of the federation is that we have about 500 milk booths at various locations in the state. So people who are wanting to buy our product will have to come to these 500 milk booths. As I told you, in the coming future, we would be tying up with various online companies which would help the customers to place the order directly so that they can get the product at their doorstep.
Okay. There are some more questions. I cannot see them, but I can see the numbers. Okay. I think there's some problem in seeing the questions. I would also like to ask you, because everybody is trying their hobbies in these days. You must have got some time for yourself, and I can see your hobbies are photography and cooking. Please tell us about your hobbies and how are you doing these hobbies these days.
Yeah, more other than since I was a kid, other than being engrossed in studies right from school days till I got into the service, I've got a couple of hobbies which keep me occupied. One being photography and another being cooking. I've learned cooking from my mom when I was in school around 9th class.
Okay.
So since then I've been cooking, and I can say that I'm a very good cook and I'm an expert chef as on date.
Oh,
But
great.
yes, this lockdown has helped me give me a lot of time for these hobbies. But photography, I could not do much because of course I could not go out of my house. Cooking, of course, I did a lot of time. It give me a lot of opportunity to cook these days. So it's nice to spend some time, know yourself, and so spend time with yourself and family. Yes.
So are you planning to use your photography skills and just click some lockdown moments here and there?
Well, I haven't done that. I haven't done that yet. So let's see. Let's see. Because I'm more. I mean, in sense, no, we don't have so much of time like other people have. We've been working day in and day out.
Yes.
So we're not. My job is right from my journeys from my office to house and house to office. So not much of photography skills are happening, as I told you.
I understand. So finally, I would like to ask you, sir, what is your message for the people, the farmers in this time of crisis? Uh, what will be your heartfelt message to people?
So I have two people from the clientele point of view, if I can say. I have got farmers at one side and I've got the customers on the other side. I'll take this opportunity through your channel and to your organization to tell the farmers that be confident, we have the federation at your disposal, and any kind of issues that you have regarding the sale of your product, the federation is always there to help you out. There is no way that the federation is going to leave you in any time of crisis, and we would take all necessary steps, even if, for example, whatever necessary step that we need to take, we will take. And when it comes to the customers, yeah, as I told you in my talk with you, one thing is that, of course, we are trying our level best to ensure that the supply is at the doorstep. And next thing is that people should have the habit of shifting from, if they are actually taking milk from the milk vendor, to shift to a product which is a much more organized sector, whether it is a private sector or whether it is a cooperative sector. Of course, the choice is at the level of the customer, but they should what you call apply their mind to get their own choice right in place, because as I told you, I mean, we don't know the kind of the safety issues which the normal milkman takes to give you the milk right from the time he gets the milk from the animal. So these are things which I would like to tell to the farmers and the customers.
Surely, sir. Thank you very much for sparing your time from the busy schedule for us. There is one more question arrived before we close it. How the milk sale has been affected in the state? Is it true that people have started preferring packaged milk more, and as a result, farmers are in despair? Harshal from Maharashtra is asking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the two things. Because of the lockdown, the restaurants, the dhabas, the hotels, the major establishments like factories and all normally who take a lot of milk, that has reduced. So in that way, what you call the sales of the federation, at least our Vita, I can talk about, has really come down. But when you're talking about the increase in the packaged milk, like your Tetra Pak, that of course, initially when the lockdown happened, there was a rush of the people to hoard the what you call the hoard milk or any other essential commodity. So in the rush initially, of course, people did buy a lot of Tetra Pak milk. But I think since the things have settled down now and the government is opening up the sector, and the government has ensured that the essential commodities should always be available at the door, to the customer. So now things are settled down. But yes, Tetra Pak it's a technology in itself. It's nothing like there is any difference in the quality of milk. So it is the choice of the customer at the end of the day. So, and this doesn't in any way affect the procurement of milk. Like, for example, we have customers, like the households is only one of the sides of our marketing. We have midday meals to be given. We have supply to the Anganwadi centers. So we have a lot of, like, for example, if I have to talk about the supply of the skim milk powder for the midday meal in our state, we have about 4,000 to 5,000 metric ton per year that we need to supply to the midday meal for the elementary schools, just for the elementary schools, other than the Anganwadi centers. Anganwadi centers is another 5,000 metric ton. So if you look at the kind of metric, the amount of stock I have of the right now, I have only 5,000 metric ton right now. So in that way, I am shortage. I have the shortage of milk powder. So there's no, in this kind of situation, will never have any negative effect on the customer, as the on the farmer. So that's what I'm saying. So we the state-run federations always have the capacity to handle the situation from the point of view of the farmer any day. Any day they will have the, whether if for example if I in a dire situation, if at all tomorrow morning 15 lakh liters come up to the Haryana Federation, the government says that you will have to procure, though my capacity is 10 lakh liters, I can always hire about for a couple of factories and procure the milk from the farmer. That also always depends upon the decision taken by the government. So government will never ever take any negative step as far as the farmer is concerned.
True that. So thank you, sir, for giving us your time and answering all the questions. And we hope you keep serving this industry and the government and the people as a whole in this crisis time. Then you also keep enjoying your hobbies. We request you to do that also. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you for having me over your channel, and thank you very much. And it was lovely interacting with you. Thank you so much.
And sir, just your views on Elets initiatives of this, what we are taking up to connecting people through our webinars. What are your views on that, or if you have any feedback to give?
Oh, it's a lovely initiative taken up during this lockdown. So it's you guys are actually educating the rest of the community, rest of the people through these medium, which is very essential these days. In fact, I see my daughter who is in the 7th grade getting her education on online sitting in the house. So I think in the times to come, I think this kind of mode of information, the dissemination of information is going to be the in thing. And not only the dissemination of information, but also the meetings also, I think, will be more of prevalent more in the private sector. Now, I think even the government also will be more on mobile right now. And I think
Yes,
you
sir.
guys are doing I should really appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you so much. Thank you.